Peace is not found in comfort. It is not found in avoidance. It is not found in distraction. Most people spend their lives searching for calm while doing everything that destroys it. They want a quiet mind, yet they indulge every impulse. They want clarity, yet they let chaos govern their days. They want freedom, yet they refuse discipline. And then they ask, why does my mind never feel at peace? The answer is simple, yet most refuse to accept it. Peace is built, not discovered. And discipline is the foundation. A mind without discipline is like a house without walls. It cannot shelter you from storms. It cannot protect you from yourself. It cannot create stillness when life shakes everything around you. The undisciplined mind drifts. It reacts. It obeys impulses. It multiplies desires until you are tired, anxious, and fragmented. This is not depth. This is disorder. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it is punishment. They think it is restriction. They think it is a loss of freedom. Discipline is none of these things. Discipline is alignment. Alignment between what you know is right and what you do. Alignment between thought, word, and action. Every time you delay what must be done, your mind fractures. Every time you avoid discomfort, confidence weakens. Every time you break your word to yourself, self-trust erodes. Self-trust is the currency of calm. Without it, no peace can exist. Look at your daily habits. Do you wake up with purpose, or do you scroll until the morning passes? Do you consume without thought? Do you control your energy? Do you speak without clarity, or do you choose words that serve? Chaos always leaves residue. Silence must be built deliberately. The disciplined mind does not ask, what do I feel like doing? It asks, what must be done? Feelings are observed, not obeyed. Desires are acknowledged, not surrendered to. Obligations are fulfilled regardless of mood. This is mastery. The mind must be trained like the body. Left untrained, it becomes reactive, weak, and restless. Trained daily, it becomes stable, precise, and capable of stillness under pressure. Discipline is not dramatic. It is small, consistent, daily. Waking up when it is uncomfortable. Completing what you start. Maintaining your standards when no one is watching. This is how inner peace is constructed. Not through escape, not through comfort, not through temporary motivation. Through discipline. Resistance appears the moment you introduce discipline into your life. From the outside, but from within, your mind says, this is too strict. You deserve rest. Balance is important. You're overdoing it. Sometimes rest is necessary. But most of the time, this voice is fear disguised as concern, fear of effort, fear of discomfort, fear of responsibility. Discipline exposes weakness. That is why it feels heavy at first. Chaos is familiar. Structure is unfamiliar. Most people retreat to what they know, and comfort is familiar. Comfort is not calm, it is numbness. Numbness feels good briefly, then leaves anxiety in its place. Calm is stability. It comes from structure. It comes from repeated alignment. It comes from consistency when no one is watching. At first, discipline feels restrictive because you are addicted to impulse. Impulse is not freedom. Impulse is reaction. True freedom is the ability to choose your response, regardless of emotion. Reaction is enslavement. Discipline gives the mind freedom. When your day is structured, your mind stops arguing with itself. When actions are consistent, emotions stabilize. When standards are clear, self-doubt fades. Doubt thrives where standards are weak. Discipline removes unnecessary decisions. You no longer debate whether to act. The decision has already been made. This reduces mental friction. Mental friction is the source of fatigue. People are tired not because life is hard. They are tired because they constantly negotiate with themselves. Discipline ends the negotiation. As it deepens, something remarkable happens. You stop reacting to every thought. You stop obeying every urge. You stop identifying with every fleeting emotion. Distance emerges. Distance is peace. Peace is not emotional numbness. It is emotional regulation. You still feel fear, but it does not paralyze you. You still feel anger, but it does not dictate your actions. You still feel desire, but it does not control you. You become internally governed. This is why disciplined people appear calm under pressure. Chaos will always exist outside. Discipline ensures your world inside remains steady. When life shakes others, you return to fundamentals: sleep, movement, breath, work, silence. These simple acts anchor you. They stabilize the nervous system. They allow you to navigate stress without collapse. At this stage, peace is no longer something you seek. It is something you live. Not because life is perfect, but because your inner order cannot be disturbed. Self-trust is the foundation of this peace. Most people cannot trust themselves. They break promises. They avoid effort. They escape discomfort. Your mind relaxes because you deliver on yourself. Discipline whispers to your mind, "I am handled," and your mind listens. Peace is inevitable for those who honor their discipline. At this stage, discipline stops being something you do and becomes who you are. Not because life has become easier, but because your inner world is now aligned, ordered, and unshakable. You do not rely on motivation. You do not wait for inspiration. You act because it is required. Your actions are consistent, precise, and intentional. Most people mistake calm for comfort. You know the truth: calm is earned through alignment, structure, and repetition. Comfort is temporary. Discipline is permanent. At this level, you no longer seek peace. Peace follows you. Your emotions no longer control you. They inform you. You feel fear without being paralyzed. You feel anger without being destructive. You feel desire without being enslaved. Every impulse is observed, every urge measured, every thought filtered through discipline. This is mastery of self. Your presence stabilizes the environment around you. People sense your internal order before you speak. They unconsciously match your energy. Chaos spreads from the undisciplined. Calm spreads from the disciplined. This is influence without force, leadership without instruction, power without display. Responsibility becomes natural. You no longer flee weight. You carry it. Not as a burden, but as a proof of your strength. You act correctly even when no one is watching. You maintain standards even when it is uncomfortable. Discipline and responsibility merge. Peace and strength are inseparable. One cannot exist without the other. You have built a system within yourself that cannot collapse, a mind that cannot be hijacked, a body that obeys, a spirit that endures. At this point, the world may remain chaotic, people may remain unpredictable, and challenges may rise without warning, and yet you remain steady, calm, aligned, because your foundation is unshakable. The final truth emerges: inner peace is not found, it is earned. Strength is not given, it is built. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. And the strongest, calmest version of yourself is not created by circumstance, luck, inspiration. It is forged daily in quiet, relentless, deliberate action. You have learned to act with precision, live with intention, and carry responsibility with clarity. Your presence is now unstoppable, not because you dominate, but because you cannot be shaken. This is the culmination of all effort: discipline, peace, strength, and responsibility fused into identity. You are no longer searching. You have arrived. You are disciplined. You are calm. You are present. You are unbreakable. And the world notices. Whether it respects you or fears you, it cannot ignore you. At this level, discipline evolves into presence. You are no longer just managing yourself. Your internal order begins to influence everything around you. People feel it before you speak. Rooms calm in your presence. Decisions stabilize. Conversations slow down. Emotions regulate themselves naturally. Most people live reactive lives. They respond to chaos. You do not. You observe, you assess. You act with precision. This is restraint born of power, not silence from fear, not passivity from indecision, but control rooted in certainty. You know when to act and when to wait. You do not over-explain. You do not overact. You do not need to justify your choices to anyone. Silence becomes your language. Calm becomes your signature. At this stage, your tolerance for disorder decreases. Not because you are rigid, but because clarity is your standard. Noise, distraction, and unnecessary drama no longer occupy your attention. They drain you, and you refuse to be drained. Selection becomes instinctive. You protect your energy, your focus, and your priorities. You are selective about who and what you allow into your world. Not out of arrogance, but out of alignment. You return constantly to fundamentals: sleep, movement, breath, work, silence. These simple practices stabilize the nervous system. They anchor you, no matter the chaos outside. At this stage, your peace becomes durable. It is no longer dependent on comfort, outcomes, or external validation. It is rooted in identity, and with presence comes influence. Not aggressive, not domineering. Influence born of stability. People unconsciously align to your rhythm. Your calm spreads. Your structure stabilizes others. Your decisions shape the environment, whether you intervene or remain quiet. Most people live chaotic, reactive lives. You live calmly, intentionally, and aligned. Now, peace is no longer a pursuit, it is embodied. Your discipline and self-mastery radiate outward. Your calm is contagious. Your presence is undeniable. This is the threshold before the ultimate stage: responsibility beyond self. Not just personal mastery, but mastery that impacts others, shapes outcomes, and leaves a mark. The journey continues. At this stage, discipline becomes responsibility beyond yourself. You are no longer focused only on maintaining order within. That foundation is secure. Now your attention expands outward. Your presence, your calm, your consistency, they carry weight. Most people mistake responsibility for burden. You understand it differently. Responsibility is the natural outcome of discipline. It is proof that your inner order is not just personal. It has value, impact, and reach. You no longer act based on comfort, fear, or impulse. You act because it is required. Every choice is measured. Every action intentional. You are steady under pressure. You are decisive when others waver. This is leadership without words. You do not need to command attention. Your presence alone organizes environments. You do not enforce control. Your calm establishes it. Influence arises naturally. Not through ego, not through domination, not through force. It arises because stability attracts attention. Chaos spreads from those untrained. Calm spreads from those disciplined. Responsibility is heavy, but you carry it with quiet strength. It tests endurance. It demands more than you think you can give. And yet, because you have trained for years, carrying this weight does not break you. It builds you further. You no longer need recognition or validation. Discipline and responsibility are their own reward. Reliability is your currency. Self-trust is your foundation. At this level, peace, discipline, and responsibility form a triad that governs your life. Peace through alignment and self-trust, discipline through structure and consistent action, responsibility through purpose and measured influence. Most people live with one or two of these qualities, if any. You embody all three. You are steady under pressure. You are consistent without oversight. You are influential without trying. Life may throw chaos at you. People may falter around you. Circumstances may shift unpredictably. And yet you remain calm, aligned, unshakable. This is mastery, not of others but of yourself, for recognition but for reality. The final truth is clear: inner peace is earned, not found. Strength is built, not granted. Discipline is freedom, not restriction. The strongest version of yourself is not a result of chance. It is forged daily, silently, deliberately. You have become reliable. You have become present. You have become unbreakable. And the world cannot ignore you. Whether it respects you or fears you, it will feel your presence. You are disciplined. You are calm. You are responsible. You are mastered. This is the culmination of every choice you made, every discomfort you faced, every moment you refused to surrender. You are no longer searching. You are arrived. You are the strongest version of yourself. Now, your discipline becomes identity itself. It is no longer a set of actions you perform. It is no longer a habit you try to maintain. It is who you are. Your presence, your calm, your decisiveness. They are visible in every action, every breath, every glance. At this level, peace is no longer a goal. It is your natural state. Chaos may rage around you. Others may panic. Circumstances may shift unpredictably. And yet you remain steady. Because your foundation is unshakable. Most people are controlled by their impulses, their emotions, their environment. You are controlled by principle. Principle is silent. It does not scream for attention. It does not demand recognition. It simply is. When challenges arise, the undisciplined react. You respond. When the world pressures others, you return to fundamentals: sleep, movement, breath, whirlings. These fundamentals anchor you, no matter what external chaos appears. At this stage, you understand something few ever do: discipline is not a tool to survive life. It is a way to master life itself. Your energy becomes selective. You no longer spend it on distractions, drama, or empty pursuits. You invest it in what matters. You focus on what compounds over time. You act on what creates lasting impact. At this level, presence becomes power. Not aggressive, not loud, but undeniable. People sense it. They may not understand it, but they feel it. They align to it. Some are challenged by it. Others feel protected by it. All are influenced, simply because you cannot be shaken. Your life is no longer a reaction to circumstances. It is an extension of your identity. Every choice, every action, every moment flows from your internal order. And now, responsibility becomes natural. You carry it without effort. You influence without trying. You lead without instruction. The strongest version of yourself is no longer aspirational. It is embodied, real, and undeniable. This is the path few walk. The rewards are quiet, internal, and profound. Calm, strength, clarity, presence, influence, all rooted in one truth. Discipline is the foundation of everything that matters. You have arrived. You are disciplined. You are calm. You are unshakable. And this is only the beginning of what you can create with such mastery. Now, discipline has fully fused with identity. You are no longer reacting. You are no longer negotiating with yourself. You are no longer searching for calm or control. Peace is no longer something you seek. It flows through you naturally because your structure is permanent. Strength is no longer something you display. It is silent, undeniable, and persistent. You are the calm in chaos, the steady hand in uncertainty, the quiet force in a noisy world. At this stage, your responsibility extends beyond yourself. You influence others, not by demand, not by words, not by authority, but by presence. People sense your stability. They feel it. They adjust to it. They follow it, often without knowing why. You no longer expend energy proving yourself. Proving is for the uncertain. You are certain. Certainty is magnetic. It draws the right opportunities, the right people, and the right outcomes. Your decisions are no longer clouded by fear, doubt, or impulse. They come from alignment, from principle, from the identity you have forged through relentless, daily discipline. Most people live their entire lives without reaching this stage. They chase comfort, chase motivation, chase fleeting emotions. They react to life instead of mastering it. You are different. You have learned that discipline is freedom. Structure is peace. Responsibility is influence. And all three together create the strongest version of yourself. At this level, your life is not just calm, it is purposeful. Not just strong,